Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've been well. Sorry that I wasn't here last week. My mental health was in the bin. Where I sometimes just talk about myself in third person. We're in a better place this week, so I thought actually let me kind of give an update, catch up on where we are. So this is the end of week 4, term 2 of my master's program. All my assignments have been released. I have one presentation and five assignments to do in the month of March. So in March I've got back-to-back deadlines. When I say my mental health was in the bin, I started to notice that I was disassociating quite a bit. And it's different from like my ADD procrastination. Like my disassociation was making my ADD procrastination worse, and I decided I actually need to speak to somebody about that. As a note, I want to say that it is really important if you are struggling to get in contact with a professional. In the UK, you can refer to yourself to talking therapies. So on the NHS website or like through your GP, I'm sure like all of our GPs are different. Your GP is your general practitioner in the UK, or I guess anywhere else it would just be your doctor. So over here, my GP surgery has like an appointment thing, or there's like a self-service section. So you can like go through the self-service section to refer yourself. So I decided to go through the self-service section to refer myself for therapy to help me deal with my anxiety. Because I've noticed, obviously, well, it's not obvious, but I've noticed for me anyway that when my anxiety is really bad, my ADD symptom, which is the procrastination, gets worse. But because I've noticed that I've been disassociating, it's like I'm in a loop. So anxiety is bad, procrastinating is bad, but disassociating, so the anxiety is worse. Do you get? So I went and I sought out help for that. I say it's important for you to seek professional help because one, they can assist you, but two, there would be somebody that knows what you're going through. Like if you're not able to go to your GP, your university will have a well-being section area person. That Zoom in was very intense. That you can refer yourself to. I decided not to go through my university because they're already aware of like things that I've got going on. So I decided to go to my GP so that there's a record in my there's a note of it in my medical record that this is what's going on. And matter of fact, after this, I have a GP appointment that I need to attend to discuss that further. I want to reiterate that like your mental health is really, really important, especially when you're studying, because it's really easy to feel like you're alone and fall into a deep depressive state because you don't know who to turn to or where to go or where to get help. So I just want to do like this little PSA, like if you are struggling, speak to somebody, not just your friends, speak to professionals, contact your lecturer, go to your lecturer's office hours, speak to your course leader, speak to somebody so somebody knows what's going on with you and they can check in with you. Yeah, I did a lot of that last term. Like I had like I was emailing my course leader like every week because like I need to stop saying like, but I was going through a lot of stuff kind of like physically, mentally, emotionally, and I was struggling with like the course content, and then I began to worry that I wanted to drop out, but I would like wake up and go, I want to drop out, but then the day would go by and I wouldn't drop out, and then the next day the same thing would happen, and then before you know it, you're like 6 weeks in, and it's too late because the university already has your money, you know? So yeah, seek professional advice. That is like my number one thing. The second thing that I want to talk about is big decisions. So I don't know if undergrad is the same. I was in undergrad over a decade ago now. But as part of my master's program, we have meetings, I think once a term, where we go over like the goals that we want to achieve. So like one of my goals was that I want like the grades that I want to achieve on this course. And like one of the other things that I wanted to do was I wanted to look at the different jobs within the field that I'm studying and kind of get an idea of kind of like what the requirements are, what they're looking for, so that I can better prepare myself for when I graduate or for when my course is finished. That was like my plan. Not my plan. That was my idea kind of like last term. But things have changed since then. And I signed up for like a mentoring program. I think most universities have that, like where you can sign up to have a mentor. I would highly suggest it. When I was at undergrad, that wasn't available, but then also like when I was at undergrad, the financial crisis happened, so a lot of things that are available now weren't available then. Sorry, I'm using my second screen as extra lighting because it's raining, so it's a bit dark in here, and the screen keeps going off. So yeah, that's what that was. Yeah, so I also advise you to speak to a mentor, especially if you're an undergrad, to kind of like get a feel for like what you want to do once you graduate. So like I had a meeting with a mentor because like I was made redundant back in 2023, and as I haven't been in like the world of work for a quote unquote very long time, like I wanted to get like ahead of the curve and see like what things have changed, what things to look out for, kind of like if the expectations have changed within my field. What's interesting, like not to like talk crap about my mentor, like she seems cool. It's just that she's from a Big Four company, and as somebody that has worked at a Big Four company before, it feels very cult-like. Don't sue me. But there's a way that people that work at Big Fours interact with like the rest of us. And that might not necessarily be beneficial for me, like the long hours. I'm at an age where I'm tired. So like I know that I can do the work, but the additional stress, I don't know if it's worth it for me personally. So one of the things that I was looking into is using my career experience to date and being a freelancer or becoming a freelancer. So I guess this is my coming out, my announcement. I'm not coming out in that sense, but yeah, I am launching myself as a freelancer in governance, risk and compliance projects. So that is something that I'm starting. Yay. I don't know if like starting it now was a good idea considering like all the deadlines that I have coming up in March. But my thought process is if I start now, get all my assignments in, when we go on break in April, it's like a 2-week break, and then there's gonna be about I think it's about 6 weeks for our next our part 1 of our final project, and then I think part 2 of our final project will be due in end of August, early September. So that's something that I think like launching now is like a great thing to do. I have homework for myself, so I need to look at like the patent office, intellectual property office, patents fall under that, trademarks, so on and so forth. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm terrified. Your girl is scared. So that's kind of what's going on with me. All of my assignments are out. I've started on 2. I can't progress further on the 3rd because it's group work and I'm waiting for confirmation from for a few things from a few people in my group so that I can like do what I need to do. And yeah, that's it. Like, oh, I feel like the time has gone very, very quickly. I feel like the time has gone very quickly, even more so because last week I was mentally checked out. So even though like this is the end of week 4, it partially feels like week 3, but also realistically it's like, if this is week 4, there's 8 more weeks until the end of term. And out of those 8 weeks, one of them doesn't count. So actually it's 7 weeks. Ow. It's 7 weeks. 7 weeks. Oh, the time is flying. The time is really, really flying. Like I was saying, like the other day, like this was the quickest January that I remember that I feel like that I've ever experienced in my whole lifetime. Like the time has gone so quick, and it's just going quicker. But then also I'm really busy with uni work. And then also like my lectures. So like last term I only had uni 3 days a week. I've got uni 4 days a week now. So there's more days I'm staying behind to work on stuff with like my study group, which I am so grateful for. Like it makes such a huge difference. And oh, that's another thing that I wanted to point out or like make you aware of. Like if you're at uni, I feel like don't do it alone. Like even if it's just being in a room with like 3-4 other people and you're all working in silence, that aspect of community is going to make such a difference to how you're doing on your course, and it's going to make such a difference to like the work that you produce. Because if I'm honest with you, like my first assignment, I'm using this moment to kind of like glow a little bit because I did that. Like my first assignment, I got a 48, which is a fail, and it was in maths and statistics. I was really upset about that because, to be fair, I felt like I was marked unfairly. And it was just like a lot of stress because like I was dealing with an injury, so on and so forth. So like my first assignment, I got a 48, right? And then I started, and then like I had another test and I failed that. And then I was just like, I want to drop out. I was just like, I'm clearly not smart enough. I want to drop out. Come to find out that for my second coursework, my second maths and statistics coursework, I got 94%. To me, that is unheard of. Like, not unheard of, but like I remember like thinking to myself, like, based on the grade I want to graduate with, I was just like, it's going to be impossible for me to like bring all my grades up because I got that 148. I was just like, oh, my grades are going to suffer. Like, I've basically failed. Terrible. See that 40, that 94 bumped that grade up. Like, all my modules are at a certain benchmark. Now the stress is I have to maintain that benchmark in order to graduate with the grade that I want. I'm not going to tell you what my grade is because I'm sure you can figure it out. But long story short, some stuff happened last term and I'm not on good terms with a bunch of people and I don't want to put my business out there until I graduate. So yes, I'm doing it. It's the crunchiest of times, but I'm doing it. It's terrifying. It's horrible. It's wet, rainy, windy, disgusting, but I'm persevering. In the words of Elise, trying to persevere as always, and that's what I'm doing. Who told me to do a master's? And you know what's worse yet? I feel like I'm a glutton for punishment because a part of me wants a PhD. I want to be a doctor. Not a medical doctor. Because needles and like cutting people open with scalpel, yuck. I couldn't. But yeah, a part of me wants to be. I want a PhD for petty reasons, like doctor. Who could chat to me? Nobody. I'm a doctor. Like, who are you? You're a small fish. I'm a big fish. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I don't have really much to update. Next week, I'm gonna try and be I'm gonna try and be consistent. I'm gonna try and be consistent. I was only not consistent last week, but I'm gonna try and be consistent because this is a record. In the words of Namjoon, this is a record of my youth. Even though, according to surveys, I'm not a baby girl anymore, but I will always be a baby girl because baby girl is a state of mind and a state of being. Therefore, I'm a baby girl. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Thanks for listening. Thank you for coming back. If you're just discovering me, welcome. We've got a lot going on over here, but when don't I have a lot going on? It's the only way to be me, really. Like, I don't believe in doing things half-assed. I am very full on. I am full on in everything that I do. I am full on. I don't feel like doing things by halves. Do all of it. Do all of it. Like, why stop there? Do it all. Like, I mean, like, why stop at running? Why not run a marathon? That's not what I'm talking about, because running a marathon, that's crackhead behavior. Saying that, a part of me, like, when I was younger, I wanted to complete a triathlon. I was just like, my goal was like, after I have kids, I want to do a triathlon, because if you can do childbirth, you can do anything. Now I don't actually know if I want to have kids. That's not what this channel is about. But yeah, I don't know if I want to have kids. So I'm like, do I put a triathlon on hold? But then it's not putting the triathlon on hold because wanting kids. Like, cycling, I can do that. Running, I'm not that fast, but I can do that. Swimming, I need to get in the pool and practice. But then also, like, I'm not an open water swimmer. And also, like, the flashbacks of the Paris Olympics, of them swimming in the Seine. Doo-doo water. Like, a week before the Olympics, people were doo-dooing in that water, and they made people swim in that. And people were crossing the finishing line and vomiting. That's what was happening. I'm a very, like, I don't drink water from suspicious taps. Like, I don't know if it's a uni thing, but a lot of universities in the UK will have, like, a tap in the bathroom, in the toilets, that's like drinking water. I'd rather drink bleach. I am not drinking that. Where did that water come from? I don't trust it. No. Also, like, the uni that I go to, the buildings are very, very old. And I'm like, you're probably drinking old ratty den water. No, no thanks. Anyway, that's enough from me, because I actually have to go to my GP. And if I'm late, they're going to bitch about me being late. Sorry. Am I allowed to swear? Should I beep that out? We'll see. Anyway, thanks for coming to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Janelle. Whatever way you're thinking of spelling it, it's wrong. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Bye.